Hello and welcome. This is DTOTHER. This is Movie Night, and our movie for tonight is the science fiction classic Forbidden Planet. Hope you all enjoy. We'll be doing a movie review. I won't be actually showing the full film due to copyright, but I shall be reviewing it and trying to relay as much information as I possibly can. Shall we click play and let the movie begin? This is the opening sequence for Forbidden Planet, with some very retro science fiction classical music playing in the background. What do we know about the film Forbidden Planet? It was released the 22nd of March in 1956 and directed by Fred M. Wilcock. It starred Leslie Nielsen, Anne Francis and Walter Pigden. The screenplay was by Cyril Hum, and the story was by William Shakespeare, Irving Bloch and Alan Adler. Now, I was intrigued to find that the story was by William Shakespeare, so I did look into it and research how William Shakespeare had any part in the story. And Forbidden Planet is actually based on one of his plays called The Tempest, so that is why he is actually mentioned in the history of the film. I found that quite interesting. So, the film's just started, and here we have a very young Leslie Nielsen, and they are 1 year into their space journey from Earth. The spacecraft they're on is a United Planets cruiser C57D, and they're heading on their mission to a planetary system of the Great Main Sequence star Altair. So as we can see here, these look like the teleportation things that you see in Star Trek, but on this they are kind of like a protective shield. They've just gone through some kind of I don't know what it was. The music went strange, and the screen went like a reddy colour, and these pods here was like a bright green. You can still see the tinges just here, so whether that was to protect them, but it does remind me of the beam me up kind of things that you saw in the original Star Trek. To say it's 1956, the graphics here aren't all that bad. Seen a lot worse. I don't think my camera does it any justice really. They're quite impressive. Just reached the Earth-like planet, and apparently the mission is that a spacecraft landed there 20 years ago, and their mission is to go there and search for survivors. The crew just made contact with Dr. Edward Morbius, who is on the planet, and he's very reluctant to let them land, but he has just give them coordinates so they can land, but he's holding no responsibility for their safety or what might happen to them when they do land. So it does seem a bit eerie and a bit strange, if you ask me. We'll see what happens next. I wonder, Morbius, sure that was a villain in Doctor Who. I'll look it up. just about to land on the planet. Got this shot here, and you can kind of tell that it's drawing like a artwork, but for its time though, very futuristic. I like how there's I don't know if it's 2 moons or 2 planets in the distance, giving it that outer world experience. And then we have the spaceship in the centre there, enjoying it so far. We have touchdown on the planet. They've just landed and everything seems all clear at the moment. Spaceship looks absolutely massive from this angle. When it first landed it looked really small, so great camera work to make it look absolutely huge when they're just exiting the craft. Something's just started to approach the craft. Not sure what it is. Just a short little clip there, and we'll carry on. Here we have our first encounter and meeting with Robbie the robot, who has come to greet the crew of the spacecraft in his little vehicle. That was the dust storm you saw just approaching the spacecraft. Must have been boiling if there was a person inside that suit. And we've got a little bit of a closer look at Robbie the robot. So I'm assuming that little dots there are the eyes. These here are the antennas or the ears, and this thing here I believe would obviously be the mouth or the speaker. So you've got like a face sort of shape, and in there I believe is the brain, because these do move when he starts to speak. They've just reached where Morbius lives, and there he is, stood in the doorway, dressed in all black. And this is where Morbius lives. It's quite a nice place, to be fair. If I am mistaken, that looks like a pool there. A half-sized decent little house there. Plenty of land. He's doing alright for himself. No hungry, don't no company. They've all sat down, just had some food, as you do, and Morbius has just told them that Robbie the robot can create any meal they desire. All they have to do is put a sample of food or material in there, and it creates anything they wish for, which I find quite interesting. You could have any meal you ever wanted at the snap of your fingers. Very, very useful. And now we have a demonstration where Morbius is telling the captain that the robot has a built-in safety mechanism so he can't hurt no one, and that is the captain's blaster there. So it's a live demonstration. Obviously for the captain, he's got to be feeling a bit uneasy, but we'll see what happens. and as you can tell it didn't fire, but it has started to, looks like, malfunction or something. There's electric and purple sparks in the headpiece of the robot. And here we meet, I believe her name's Alta. This is Morbius's daughter. Well, we think. She did call him father. A bit later on in the film, the chef is trying to get the Robbie the robot to get his hands on some bourbon whiskey. So the robot's poured what was left of the whiskey into his little contraption there, and obviously the chef doesn't know that he'll be able to create tons more alcohol, but he ain't very happy that the last of his bourbon whiskey is now been deposited in there. So Robbie the robot's just informed him that he'd be able to create 60 gallons of bourbon whiskey, and the chef is beyond happy. He's ecstatic that 60 gallons of bourbon whiskey will be created for him. Some invisible entity has now entered the ship and just opened up this hatch here. Walked straight past the guards outside without even knowing, although one did say they heard heavy breathing. So is it Morbius using an invisibility cloak of some kind? Who knows? After the incidents of the invisible person entering the ship, obviously the captain is not happy. The government equipment there has been damaged, and the people on watch not exactly in the good books at the moment. So who entered the ship and why was it destroyed, I should say, the equipment? Morbius had just informed the captain that the planet they're on now used to belong to a super evolved species called the Krill, and overnight they just disappeared. And these kind of diamond structures here are archways or doorways, and they are the only remnants left of the Krill. And he also has a recording as well that he played to them. That's why they look a bit shocked. He just told them that it was from over 500,000 years ago. And now he's took them through the archways, and this here is remaining artifacts of the lost civilization, and also stairs as well. And he's just asked the captain to use his blaster against this object here. It's not my mistake. I thought he was going to shoot at this thing here, but this here is a doorway. So he shot at the doorway, and it was made of some alien metal, and the blaster didn't even dent it. So he turned this device just here, and now the doorway is opening, and they're now entering into what looks like a laboratory or a spacecraft of some kind. Bearing in mind this all here should be millions of years old, but it looks brand new. So the chef there has just gone to meet the robot, and there's 420 pints of bourbon whiskey all bottled up, and as you can tell, he is happy as a sandboy. the invisible creature from before has tried to get back on the ship, but they've put a perimeter fence up. As you can see there, it's walked straight into it. It's quite a large creature, and it's causing quite a stir. So there's some footprints now appearing in the sand. And you look at the size of them footprints, that's a big creature. So that was what was causing the footprint. There was also a scream, and the captain there has found that underneath the planet there's a massive, vast system network of computers and other scientific marvels and engineering wonders, and Morbius is not very happy about him wanting to report it back to Earth. Still not sure on what happened with the person in the scream. So the scream was from the chief who'd been murdered by that invisible giant creature, and it's not looking very good at the moment. Here we have a small battle going on. There is the creature, and here are the captain and his crew, and they've engaged in combat with the invisible enemy that killed one of the crew members earlier on. As you can see, the eyes there, and it's quite a large, formidable creature that they're going up against. There's another shot. As you can see, you got the eyes, it's like a nose, and a large giant mouth here. Almost looks like a dinosaur or some kind of mutated creature. There's another view, and these blue dots here are from the troops firing onto the creature. Look at the size of the mouth, and there's the body. It's absolutely ginormous, trying to break through the shield barrier. There is one of the barriers just there, and another one just here. So one of the troops has just been killed, and there's another one just met his doom. Creature there attacking and killing both men, and unfortunately a third member of the crew ran up to try and be a hero, and he is now in the clutches of the creature and about to meet his gruesome end. What I don't get though, the creature was able to attack the humans who were on the other side of the fence, but why not just attack the barriers itself? That's rather strange. Surely a creature of that size and power would be able to destroy these little pylons here, which are creating the force field stopping the creature from entering. And just like that, the creature has disappeared without a trace. And I do believe, I don't know if that's a body there or a body there. It might just be the way the rocks are. So this is interesting. Morbius, who was asleep in the alien laboratory, has heard his daughter screaming, and then she said she'd had a dream, and the dream depicted the little battle between the giant creature and the captain and his men. So she thinks she's had a nightmare, but in reality what she dreamt actually happened. So she got a psychic link to the monster. So with the incidents that have happened, the captain there has gone to pick up the doctor and his daughter and try and get them to safety, even though they are reluctant to go. So while the captain was arguing with Morbius about leaving, Robbie the robot has just told them both that there's something approaching from the southwest. Maybe it's the creature returning. So the creature is now approaching. The tree has been knocked over, and also there's some debris just over this way as well. So Morbius has now put a force field around the house, hopefully to stop the creature from entering and causing absolute carnage. And now the creature is obviously attempting to break in and causing some considerable damage to the outer defence. Morbius has ordered Robbie the robot to attack the creature, obviously going against his primary functions. He is now having an absolute meltdown and is in turmoil. So the creature has broken through there, but the captain has said that it is Morbius's alter ego, his other self, almost like a thought that Morbius can control, or not control I should say. So now there's an altercation between the captain and Morbius, because the captain spun this wheel here, which is the controls to the door, and jumbled up the combination. Morbius then asked why he did it, and the captain has told him that because whatever he thinks, his so-called twin, as the captain put it out there, will know what he's thinking and be able to enter into the room and destroy everyone in there. So the captain now has told Morbius he was the reason why his crew, when they landed there 20 years ago, were killed, because he subconsciously didn't want to leave. And then when they arrived, he was warning them not to approach, and he wouldn't be held responsible for what happened. So he subconsciously knew that if they landed, he'd be responsible for more deaths. The monster now is breaking through the steel alien doors, and the computer, the giant computer underground, is supplying him with the power to do so. So it's a bit of a hair-raising moment for the captain. So the door now is getting increasingly hotter and starting to glow almost like the sun, and starting to weaken the metal doors. Morbius is pleading with his daughter not to believe the captain, but unfortunately I think she knows in herself that everything he said is correct, and Morbius now is starting to doubt himself, and now he's just admitted that it must be true, everything the captain said, and he looks quite concerned. And now she's trying to console him as he has a breakdown, realising what he's done and the trouble he's caused. Now the door is pretty much molten lava and is falling apart, and it's all gone into absolute chaos. The machine lights here are going absolutely crazy, flashing on and off. The door is just molten lava, and Morbius is still having an absolute crisis. And as you can see, the captain is there with his blaster ready to defend himself. Morbius is now pleading with the monster or the computer itself and trying to persuade it not to do anything, saying that he gives up. And the computer system is having seems to be some kind of malfunction and going absolutely berserk. The lights and stuff, as you can see, are blinking like never before, and they've started to slow down now. All these have gone back to normal and it's slowly working its way around, and these here are what's left. It's like the machine knows and is now starting to calm down. And Morbius, I think, took the brunt of it and collapsed onto the floor, and they've rushed over to help him up. Morbius had just told him to flick a switch and press a lever, which has caused a chain reaction, and told him to be 100 million miles away from the planet, as I think it's about to self-destruct within 24 hours. And there is the lever that was pushed, starting to glow red as the countdown begins. And now we've cut to the spaceship leaving the planet and heading back into the stars. And here we have the closing moments. They've just got clear of the planet, and as you can see, the daughter of Morbius is aboard the ship, and so is Robbie the robot. Seems to be flying or piloting the spacecraft. And that is the end of the movie Forbidden Planet. I hope you've all enjoyed. It was a good watch. To say it came out in the later half of the 1950s, I really enjoyed it. Good story to it as well. Hope you all enjoyed, and I'll be back again soon with another video.